From being Babu Owino's political mentor to becoming his biggest obstacle, Raila Odinga is facing intense backlash online, accused of betraying the very people he once nurtured.
Raila Odinga.
I would not for a minute want to be Raila Amolo Odinga. I think Raila is in a very bad place, let me tell you.
In just under a month, Raila has gone from being a beloved figure in Kenyan politics to one of its most controversial. Is this the beginning of a broader pattern where he tarnishes the career of young politicians who have loyally served him? Now, the controversy surrounding Raila Odinga and Babu Owino erupted recently when the ODM party announced changes in its leadership structure. This shift came shortly after some former ODM leaders were appointed to government positions by President Ruto, a figure often seen as Raila's biggest rival. Many Kenyans expected Babu Owino's name to feature prominently in the new ODM leadership lineup. However, to the surprise of many, Babu was left out. Instead, Raila appointed others who in the eyes of many lacked the charisma the Embakasi East MP has.
Saizi chenye menibakia ni kupigania haki ya watu wangu. Kwa hivyo huwezi nitisha na kifo na huwezi nitisha na maneno ya jela. Kama ni jela, nimelala huko. Kama ni cell, nimelala mara kadhaa. Hakuna police station yoyote kule Nairobi ambayo sijai lala huko.
And the situation was further inflamed when Raila's sister Ruth Odinga was given the position of Deputy Organizing Secretary, leading to accusations of nepotism. Additionally, Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga was named National Chairperson and Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi was appointed ODM Deputy Party Leader. For Babu Owino supporters, this was a blatant betrayal. They had placed their hopes in him for years, only to see him sidelined in favor of others. Babu himself has expressed frustrations for the longest time, even threatening to rebel against the party if his political mentor Raila Odinga continues to exclude him from key decision-making roles.
Baba ameamua sasa ayuko kwenye siasa. Mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu mimi nakuwa principal. Mwenye hataki kufanya kazi na mimi, sitafanya kazi na yeye. Na hivyo ndio itakuwa.
Babu kuna madusha didi.
Sema sasa mimi siku ya leo nimewacha siasa. Ndugu yangu. Pale katika Azimio. Pale katika Azimio. The most popular member of parliament in the whole country. The most popular hata saizi ya leki ukipigia nyanyako kule nyumbani. Mwambie nilikuwa na Babu Owino. Atasema hebu niambie ukweli, tuma picha nio. Juu anajua Babu Owino na anajua kazi ya Babu Owino. Sasa mbona hawa viongozi wakae kwa meza wana negotiate for us na mimi niko kwa menu nikuliwe. Hiyo meza tutaivunja.
Raila Odinga's decision to exclude Babu Owino from the ODM's leadership structure sparked widespread skepticism. When asked why his name was omitted, Babu Owino humorously turned into a pastor, avoiding a direct response. This move by Raila Odinga to sideline Babu Owino is just the tip of the iceberg, revealing the darker and more complex aspects of Raila's political maneuvers. During the appointment of his allies to positions in Ruto's government, Raila denied any knowledge of the negotiations, suggesting that John Mbadi, Wycliffe Oparanya, Hassan Joho, and Opiyo Wandayi might have gone behind his back. However, the truth came to light when Wycliffe Oparanya inadvertently exposed Raila's deceitful nature, revealing that it was actually Raila who had submitted their names to President Ruto for inclusion in the cabinet.
Siku hiyo tena akasema hao watu wameenda wenyewe. Nikasema bwana, sasa wewe umesema sisi tuende wenyewe na wewe juzi uliniambia wewe ulipeleka huko jina langu. Akasema hiyo ni siasa. Nilikuwa na test maji. Nione mambo iko namna gani. Lakini alipoenda siku hiyo Saturday hiyo alipoenda kule Siaya kwa matanga akasema yeye ametupeleka kwa loan. Tumepewa kama loan. We have been loaned to this government. Nikasema mbona uulize mimi?
Raila's pattern of mistrust and manipulation continued to unfold. with blogger Maverick Aoko stepping forward to expose the dangerous and cruel side of Raila Odinga. Aoko, known for her detailed insights and years of experience working with Raila's team, has frequently exposed government plans and corrupt dealings on her Twitter account. She has even shared shocking revelations about Raila's personal life, as well as those of John Mbadi and other ODM leaders, revelations that are too disturbing to fully detail here.
Ruto is not a leader. He's a mendacious kleptomaniac who has joined hand and is currently in cohorts with a rapacious old conman. Raila is the epitome of selfishness, traitor.
In a recent tweet, Aoko shed light on why Babu Owino might be hesitant to rebel against Raila Odinga after being excluded from the party's leadership structure. She suggests that Babu Owino fears the consequences of betraying Raila Odinga, particularly the possibility that his case involving DJ Evolve could be revived, potentially leading to his imprisonment for attempted murder. The moment Babu leaves ODM, files za Evolve will be waiting 6 a.m. I know that's why anavumilia ujinga, she said. Many might assume that Babu Owino, realizing that Raila Odinga doesn't have his best interests at heart, hired Aoko to relentlessly attack Raila Odinga. However, Aoko insists that she defends Babu Owino out of genuine love for him, though Babu Owino reportedly dislikes it when she targets Raila Odinga through her tweets. God bear me witness, apart from my dad, I've never loved another man with agape love if not Babu Owino, she tweeted.
Nimekuja.
But in all fairness, it is important to acknowledge Raila Odinga's significant contributions to the freedom Kenyans enjoy today. He spent years behind bars, enduring torture and mistreatment under President Moi's regime. His relentless pressure on oppressive governments eventually led to his release and the amendment of the Constitution, earning him the admiration and loyalty of many Kenyans who are even willing to die for him. However, by June 2024, public sentiments began to shift, with many believing that Raila Odinga has not always been sincere in his opposition to various governments. Following the June 25th protests that resulted in dozens of deaths and President Ruto revoking the finance bill, Ruto found himself under immense pressure, with sleepless nights and even avoiding international travel as Kenyans threatened to overthrow his government through continued demonstrations.
Looking crazy, but I'm fighting for my right because I know there are people like in the village who won't be able to afford the kind of stuff they're having.
When
the
we
lands are
started the revolution, this
crazy,
guy's hair was blonde. Now it's pink, and a person is dead. We'll find that guy, Ruto. Ruto Banatoka, Enda Kibia, run, bro.
It's my friend's blood. They killed him.
In surprising turns of events, Raila Odinga, who had initially refused to recognize Ruto as a legitimate president of Kenya, stepped in to offer Ruto a lifeline by siding with him. This move was seen as a deep betrayal by many Kenyans, who questioned why Raila Odinga, once a staunch critic of Ruto, would suddenly support him in oppressing the people.
Raila
Odinga urged Kenyans to give dialogue a chance and insisted that he did not want Ruto removed from office, leaving many to wonder about his sudden change of heart. Some speculated that Raila Odinga had realized he was losing his grip as the leader of anti-government protest, which had previously given him leverage to negotiate with different regimes in exchange for concessions. As the June 25th protest gained momentum without his leadership and even his supporters joined the demonstrations, Raila may have seen an opportunity to use the situation to negotiate with Ruto. Raila's strategy appeared to involve calling off the protests in exchange for some form of agreement with the government, betting that his followers who were already participating in the protests would withdraw, thereby weakening the overall movement. However, his intentions were met with skepticism, especially from the Gen Z protesters who bluntly told Raila Odinga to stay out of the movement and stop interfering with their cause.
Agombo, what are we bonging with them? Like, on a serious note, what are we bonging with them? You've been bonging. we could do these dialogues, and you know how they end. Kenyans are not ready for that again. Tunasonga to go 2024. Sisi tumesema as Kenyans, hakuna leader, hakuna mambo ya dialogue, because we've been doing this. They know what we want. Jamani, we have had our issues for over 4 weeks now, over years, like from our ancestors and whatever. So they know what we're like against. So tafadhali, let's not bong again. Let's not bong. Instead, let's see implementation.
Raila Odinga's strategy seemed successful when his allies were appointed to government positions by President Ruto, leading to a noticeable decline in protests within his strongholds like Mombasa, Nyanza, and the western region of Kenya. Meanwhile, protests in Nairobi struggled to maintain momentum. These developments have led many Kenyans to believe that Raila Odinga, once hailed as the father of democracy, has shifted his stance and aligned himself with President Ruto's oppressive regime, betraying those who oppose the government. Now, critics argue that if Raila Odinga truly had the best interest of Kenyans at heart, he would have allowed President Ruto to drown in his own political missteps. Now, the Gen Z protests have, in the eyes of many, revealed Raila's true intentions, that his fight has never been for the people of Kenya, but for his own interests. Just as he allegedly betrayed figures like Miguna by siding with former President Uhuru Kenyatta, some now believe Raila Odinga has also betrayed Kenyans and Babu Owino by hinting at a possible alliance with President Ruto.